What's up, y'all? We are back. This is episode 6. This is really episode 6 of the Miami Marlins Out of the Park Baseball 25 series. We're here about a week after we've left off. We are 56 and 46. It's been a rough little stretch of baseball for us here. Man, I can never find the freaking schedule button anymore. Here we go. Oh, I guess I was there. Okay. I'm an idiot. So yeah, after the All-Star break, we left off right here. Lost 2 out of 3 against Philly and lost 2 out of 3 against Atlanta. Did have one really excellent performance here by Jesus Luzardo, dropping his season ERA to 2.08. A potential Cy Young frontrunner. And, he's the guy I've been talking about who I'd love to lock up. Maybe it happens this offseason. We'll see how we finish out the year and how he finishes it out. Sandy is hurt. He'll be back in 2 days. He's supposed to make the start today. I have to call up a spot starter. So we're going to have to get Joe Boyle off the team. And I think Bradley Blaylock's rested. He's had a good season. I think we give him his first MLB start here. And we'll see how he does. Just so Alcantara does not pitch in relief here. Add Blaylock. We'll limit him to like 90 pitches in this one. Bullpen will be good enough even if he doesn't go deep. I like what we have there. But yeah, not really much to update. Seiya Suzuki has joined the team. He's so far hitless in 18 at-bats. Or 18 plate appearances. You do not like to see that. But, it's only up from here, as they say. So, we'll see with that. Chris Taylor's been solid since coming over. He hasn't been bad. Jason Hayward continues to play pretty well. A little bit below league average with the bat. And Brenton Doyle's played well out in the outfield. So, and Patrick Bailey actually had a really nice week too. Had a couple multi-hit games here. And overall, it's been a really excellent pickup for us this offseason. Casey Schmidt continues to rake. He's had a really nice week. Jazz continues to play well. So, yeah, the offense is in an okay spot. This is obviously not a championship lineup by any means, but we play great defense, at least theoretically. And, 16th runs scored, first runs against. We're basically polar opposites on each side of the ball. So, that's not why we're here. We're here for the first-year player draft. We have the 4th pick. Looks like we dropped out in the lottery from 1 to 4. Still in good position to get a good player, but it would have been nice to have the top spot. So let's jump into it. So last year we wound up picking pretty late because the Marlins were actually pretty good in 2023. So I think we had like the 15th pick or something, 16th pick. Do you see Ethan Holiday here? I think we'll probably go hitter. We'll see how the board falls here. I haven't done much research into how this draft class looks, but see your Chicago takes. They take Ethan Holiday. I would have liked to have him on the team, but it's okay. I'm sure someone will be there. Cam Canarella, probably a guy I would have considered, although the upside with the power isn't really there. Massive demand as well. Jace Levolette. Really like this upside. Could be an all or nothing hitter. Doesn't really play good defense. Okay, so we're up. So just want to see how our scout thinks we should take. Sebastian Norman has some big power upside. Not really a defensive home though. Again, not a guy I would not draft, but I'm looking for a little bit better value here with the 4th pick. So just keep things easy. I'm gonna go to college guys. Prefer to go to college players because they're further along, less bust potential generally. So Devin Taylor looks pretty good. Corner outfielder. Don't love it, but really good upside at the bat. I think he could be a 30 homer guy. So I definitely like Devin Taylor. Jamie Arnold, not Jaime. Jamie Arnold. 3-pitch guy. Probably not a guy I'd take here. Blake Sear, kind of similar build to Devin Taylor, just a little less along overall. Garrett Mitchell, first base only type. Cannon Pebbles, Really like the bat, and I like that he's a catcher, but the defense just isn't there. I don't think he sticks behind the plate long term. Ethan Perry looks pretty good, but again, the defense is suspect. Dalton Bargo, just no defense to speak of. Really anywhere around the diamond or on the grass. So, the college crop isn't looking great here. I do like Devin Taylor, though, so he's a guy I definitely would consider. And probably at the top of my list here, so let's show high school guys. Just go through them. Probably not taking a high school pitcher here. There's too much risk for this pick. Yeah, so I like Norman. He's fine. Corner outfield. Yeah, I don't know. Carter Smith's decent. Not bad. Billy Carlston has some pitching upside as well. Probably a third baseman, I'd say. Not much power. This guy's a nice, well-rounded infielder. Could maybe play, a super utility role, but again, not much upside with that power, which is what we're looking for with this pick. Yeah, a little disappointed. Quentin Young's not bad. Actually has some, this is kind of the upside I would look for with a third baseman, which is what he'd be. Has a massive demand, though, so, that'd be something to keep in mind. We do have plenty of money to spend, but, I don't want to blow it all on one guy. Caleb, he has a good upside with the bat, but excellent personality. Finn Leach, probably a second baseman. Not a huge fan of that. Anthony Pack, good defender, but if that ticks down to a 65, is this really a good player? I don't know. 3 excellent pitches, but no control to speak of. Yeah, a little underwhelmed by this draft class, I will say. I guess there's some pitching, but we drafted so many pitchers last year, I don't think it makes any sense. All right, let's go back. So, all players, we like Devin Taylor. I think this might be the guy we go with, actually. There's just not a ton I like for hitters. Devin Taylor does have some really excellent upside and a good floor. 21 years old. Could probably play in the majors for us next season if everything goes well. I'm not going to rush him, but, a corner outfielder. Plays decent enough defense to stick there. Infield, he could play some first base as well. He's a lefty. That doesn't mean that much for us right now. We're still trying to gather our long-term talent, so I'm not concerned about lefty-righty just yet. But I think Devin Taylor's probably the pick here if we're going hitter, which I think we will. These pitchers are just too volatile. Jamie Arnold's not a good enough guy I would consider taking there. So let's go Devin Taylor. He will be our first pick in this draft, 4th overall. Reminds me a bit of Wyatt Langford, coming out with really good tools. Made his major league debut early in the season after he was drafted. Probably a corner outfielder long term. Good power upside. Just a lefty version of him, but I think he also went 4th or 5th overall last year. But $7.8 million, we have 11 to spend, so this is kind of a lot, but what's the slot value of this pick anyway? It is 7.8. Okay, so he's just asking for the slot. We'll meet his demand. And move to our next pick. So, plenty of pitchers still here. This guy has some good personality, some good upside, but there's no velocity, although interesting. He has some hitting ratings as well. Nothing too crazy. We did draft a two-way type last year. I don't know if I want roll the dice on too many of those. So maybe a guy like Sebastian Norman makes sense here. More of an upside play rather than floor. He's pretty well developed for an 18-year-old. It's not like he's at rock bottom. Maybe you improve his defense. He could fill in fine at third base. He can play some corner outfield as well. And I do want to get some, upside hitters in the system. We don't have a ton of them after last year's draft. I like Billy Carlson. But he's kind of the type of guys that I'm trying to stay away from. Finn Leach, also a nice player. Really prototypical leadoff hitter. Second baseman long term, low work ethic. Good work ethic, good intelligence. I think Sebastian Norman's the pick here. Let's do it. Low demand, way under slot. So we'll meet his demand. Go to the next round. Another guy with limited velocity does limit your upside. I'm not necessarily against them, but 3-pitch guy, bad personality, not much defense. I mean, Finn Leach is still here. I do like Finn. Anthony Pack was another guy I liked, just not as a first-round pick. 4th overall. He has a $6 million demand, though, so that probably takes us out of that. Eli Pitt's a similar but toned-down player. Little less speed, little less defense. But, the demand difference is massive. So I like Eli Pitts. Brock Snell doesn't really bring as much defensively. Danny Wallace actually looks pretty good, minus the gap power. And he's a righty, so, we throw some darts at some outfielders. Maybe these guys are platoon guys in the future. I'm concerned about that gap power. Would a 30 play? I don't know. Never seen someone at that low with everything else pretty high. It's like a Giancarlo Stanton side, kind of like just. I guess he hits the gaps, but you just can't stretch him out anymore. Alec Blair's a nice, well-rounded player. I feel like I drafted Chilcutt a lot last year in last year's game. I do like him. Alton Davis, I remember one of the series I did last year, he turned out to be a stud. Which one was that? I think that must have been the Rockies series. So maybe I have that, that connection with him. Or I always wanted him on my team, but I never got him. Only a 3-pitch guy, though. Probably better staying away, but he's a college guy. I like Alton Davis. That goes just completely against all of my drafting philosophies, though. Yeah, there's not a ton out here. Noah Franco was another guy I remember developed. That might have been the Twins series. He was like a all-time great type of player he developed into. All right. Everett Johnson. Nice player. Okay. Let's go back. I think I have some names in mind. So, Eli Pitts, I think, is going to be the guy we're going to go with. Keep attacking the hitters. Get some darts to throw down there. Meet his demand. And I would like to see if my boy Alton Davis went, and he didn't. He might just be a reliever, though. I don't know if I just love Alton Davis for some reason. In that series, he was like a god. He's probably a reliever, though, with that control, that stamina. It's not a stupid pick, I don't think, but not a very exciting pitcher, but a pretty decent one. I think could play well with our defense behind him. Just doesn't have any really good pitches, though. I don't know if he'll ever strike anyone out. Does he still have... Yeah, that's crazy. They gotta throw a dart at Danny Wallace. I don't know how the cap power is going to play necessarily, but he's a well-rounded player. Can play a really good corner outfielder. Or play a good corner outfield. Screw it. This is a personal pick. Picking Alton Davis. I don't know why. Okay, so we are on round 5, so we'll do one more pick on camera, then cut away, and then come back for the results. There just isn't really a ton here that I like yet. Maybe Tyler Baird? I think Tyler Baird actually is a pretty good player. Well developed for an 18-year-old. I don't really love anyone else here, so Danny Wallace is a guy I like, but we've taken a lot of hitters. Well, we've taken 3 hitters, 1 pitcher. He's been pretty consistent throughout all our scouting reports. The eye has ticked down a bit. Hasn't shown a ton of development over the year. It's not really a great sign. You know what? Let's take Tyler Baird. Pretty low demand. Okay, so we have like no money left, so we'll stop with the spending there and just take slot guys the rest of the way. But we'll be back in just a second with the results. All right, so not gonna lie, not a ton else happened in the draft. We took some decent guys. Dalton Bargo, just no defensive home, but decent bat upside. Nate Snead, actually a pretty good arm. Probably a reliever with the control and the stamina, but could be a damn good one. Austin Killenworth, good speed, good outfield range, decent bat. And I honestly, it's not even worth going through the rest of these guys. Brendan Phillips is a high floor guy to have in our system. Corbin Dickerson has some good speed, some good outfield range. Not a horrible bat. Probably a 5th outfield type at best. Jarrett Sable has a really good eye, some power. No defensive home, though. So, I mean, I'm not even going to bother going through the rest. It was kind of just some dart throws. We'll see if they develop. Let's check out our first-round picks from our picks from last year. So, Duncan Marston's made 5 starts. Hasn't really been pretty. Walking a ton of guys. Not really surprising. He's 20 now. Hopefully he can figure it out in rookie ball. Conrad Kaysen, he's been playing as a two-way guy. Hasn't been bad pitching. I feel like home runs are pretty plentiful down in that league. But he's been about a league average hitter. Jason Flores had the big stuff fall off. But hasn't pitched horribly down in rookie ball. Matt Ager was a guy we took in the third round. Sorry, this is why I like drafting college guys, because he's already up to high A. Not pitching too bad. He hasn't been great by any means, but he's holding his own, I think. Rodney Green also up in high A. After a good season last year in A-ball, is kind of self-destructed down in high A. Maybe his results last year were due to his high BABIP. This year he's gone the complete other way. If he averages out as a 280, 300 BABIP guy with these ratings, I think he can maybe make it. We'll see. Demarion Terrell has played pretty well down in rookie ball. Looks like Sam Erickson's been good too. Been about a league average hitter down there. And I will make some promotions once like the trade deadline comes around, August. I like to do it around that time. So yeah, we'll reassess all of that later. But, top 4 draft last year isn't looking great right now, but there's still plenty of time for those guys to figure things out. So we will continue on and update as we approach the deadline. A lot's kind of riding on Jacob Berry here if he could figure it out before. We have to kind of pull the trigger on a trade for Nolan Jones or for Wilmer Flores or something like that. So, these next 2 weeks are pretty important for him. So we'll be back at that point and see what's going on. All right. So the day has come. Our first blockbuster trade of the series. Let's take a little bit of maneuvering to get to work. But I think this is a good trade for both sides. I think we're getting the best player, obviously, but they're getting our best prospect, Noble Meyer, second best prospect now, but previously our top prospect, number 34 in baseball. Ton of upside, has an arm. It's pitched a lot better since I moved him back to the rotation. A long way to go, a lot of bust potential, but, has the potential to be like a number 2 starter, maybe a 3 starter on a championship team. Marty Costes, who is destroyed AA, should not be down there. But, he's 29. He's kind of a throw-in to kind of fill the role of Robert. AJ Puck, not a guy I want to give up, especially because we're trying to compete, but looking at where he is, he's going to be a free agent after next season with a bunch of other guys, so we kind of have to plan for that. I don't think we're going to be able to bring him back. He's probably going to ask for starter money. He's a reliever to me, and he's really, really struggled the last few games. That'll be it for AJ Puck. He's 30 too. Like, he's not young. It doesn't feel like he's old, but he broke in when he's 24. Didn't pitch in 2020, and he's had an interesting career, but he'll continue that for Chicago. I assume he'll start. He probably should be started on most teams. We just don't really need him to. And then Victor Mesa Jr., a guy who I've teased moving in the past. He finally actually got called into the majors for me just today. Then I started looking for trades, and I saw, he was kind of a logical guy to add in here. Honestly, a really nice player. I think he's probably a 4th outfielder, but 23 years old, good defense, good bat. I think he could be a starting, center fielder somewhere. And then Rio Hirano, a guy we got for not much. We traded Jake Thompson, who's actually played really well in the majors this year and in AAA. We flipped those guys. But, he fell out of favor with me. He just was not having a good season overall. And then he started getting pissed he's not starting. Apparently he has 6 years of Major League service time. I don't know if that's a thing that they do for these random generated guys they put on the expansion teams, which I don't like, but no, it's another story. Do you want to see if they'll eat a little bit of this deal? Yeah, okay. I'm actually fine eating this. This is a hell of a deal. Hell of an affordable contract that Robert is under, so. But yeah, that's the trade on our side. We're getting Luis Robert, who has been nothing short of fantastic since the save has started. Have concerns about the strike out the walk stuff, but he's been amazing. Plays a great center field defense. We don't have a center fielder right now besides Brenton Doyle, who I like, but ideally he's your 4th outfielder on a good team. And now Robert can slot in to center field, bat 3rd for us. He's kind of exactly what we need. We're giving up quite a bit. Not like anything crazy. I mean, Noble Meyer is a huge piece to give up. One of our biggest trade assets, considering where I stand on him as a long-term piece. I see him more as a reliever, honestly. But if a team thinks they can get him to start, then they can definitely go for that. So let's do it. Our massive trade, about as big as it gets, honestly. Picking up. I don't know if he won MVP last year, but he certainly got some votes, I assume. He finished 3rd last year, so, and he's on a really, really team-friendly deal. We did DFA Ryan Weathers. I need to open up a roster spot for Jorge Mercedes, who's just doing too well, and we needed some bullpen arms. He was crushing it in AAA. He made 3 appearances up in the majors. He's actually probably going to get the call back up here, but I need to clear up that 40-man spot. So we have 2 more spots in the active roster. We traded away our infielder, our backup infielder, so the logical move is to bring up, not Nicky Lopez, Jacob Amaya, who after a tough start has kind of turned his season around, and he's been pretty good, so we'll give him the call. So that's 13 hitters, and we need 1 more arm. Well, let's see. Who do we have down here? Steven Cruz is rested. Mercedes is rested. We only have 1 lefty, so I'm actually going to call up Josh Simpson, who's made a couple appearances for us this year. Yeah, I mean, we lose our closer. Like, that absolutely sucks, but I think we'll be able to figure it out. Also, I forgot to mention, I made a minor trade. Not minor, but, kind of an inconsequential trade. I was, Tristan Gray was on my AAA roster, playing well. But, he was just taking up a roster spot. He's 29 years old, so I was looking for trades. Giants wanted him. They were willing to give me Julian Merriweather, who's been a starter for them this season. And, he's been okay, I guess, walking too many guys. He's going to slot into the bullpen for me. He might actually even close some games here for us. But I really like where this pitching staff is at generally. I think we could probably still add 1 more guy, but I don't know who I'm taking out, honestly. I like to have this 1 spot as kind of a floater where I can, send guys up, send guys down if we need them. But yeah, I mean, look at this lineup now with Slot Robert in here. I mean, it's Doyle's to the bench. I mean, that right there just lengthens the hell out of our lineup. Where the hell is... Jacob Amaya's right here. So yeah, he could back up the infield. I don't want Alfonso playing every 3rd game. I don't know why that was the case. But yeah, I mean, just... Now Patrick Bailey moves from our 5 guy to our 6 guy. Casey Schmidt, who's been our best hitter this season, moves down into the 7 hole. It's like... And Jacob Berry has really come on. And he's a guy I, was looking to trade. Now he's kind of untouchable in a deal. I had to make some things work to not include him in that one. That was the reason that Mesa was included. But yeah, he went on a nice run here. Really answered the call when we needed him. But yeah, this lineup's looking pretty good now. Not going to lie. Yeah, I'm feeling really good. So Chris Taylor has really sucked for us. So I don't know what the plan with him is. They're eating the entire deal. He has a $0 buyout next year. I might just cut him if things come to that. But we do need someone to replace him as our platoon guy with Sanchez. But we'll see how Taylor plays. I'm still going to give him his at-bats against lefties, see if he can come through. Because I still don't want Jesus Sanchez playing against lefties. And his numbers have improved since we made that switch. Definitely don't want him batting up here. Bet 8th. It's fine. Okay. Yeah, love this lineup. Okay. Yeah, we're going to move forward a little bit, see if there's any more moves to make at the deadline. We are in 3rd place, 59 and 54. It's been a little bit of a rough patch for us. We're kind of falling out of the division race. It's not over yet, but we're kind of fighting for a wild card spot now. I guess we have been all year, but look at all these teams right in this middle pack. It's like, are we better than these teams? I don't know. I think Robert gets us into that conversation, though. So, yeah, we'll pick up in just a few days, see where we at. Okay, so we're at the deadline here. Chris Taylor's pissed about not being in the starting lineup. Like, dude, you put up a 15 WRC plus in 58 plate appearances. I'm thinking about just cutting him. I like Chris Taylor, but, if he's going to complain about his role and be unhappy, we can't have that on this team. So, you know what? He can go figure it out elsewhere, I guess. We'll figure out what we do here. So, Wes Clark is still raked in AAA. Corey Collins just got the call. He was mashing Double-A pitching, by the way. We have some options down here. None of them, blow my socks away, but Elliot Ramos has been fine. Dane Myers has been killing it. Let's give Dane Myers another shot here. So he's not going to play against righties, but maybe he could start against lefties. Him and Doyle maybe can split time kind of evenly. Why not just fully evenly? Yeah, I think that's a good split. Okay, so I was looking around at trades for relievers and stuff. It's really expensive. It's trying to pick up a reliever, even a rental. That's better than any of the guys that we have. I think our bullpen's still been good overall. Bender's been a little shaky. We don't really have a stud out here, just a bunch of really good guys. I'm hoping Max Mayer can be that guy by the time the season ends, but I can't put all my eggs in that basket. We do have the, ace up the sleeve in Jorge Mercedes, when I do decide to fully call him up. Also, we have Steven Cruz down here, who I like. Joe Boyle is another arm. So, and Josh Simpson's a pretty good arm, too. So we have plenty of depth. Tobias Myers is a guy who's pitched a lot of games for us. Colton Gordon's not bad if we need a long man or something. But, yeah. Bradley Blaylock is up with the team currently. So he's filling in as our long man for the moment. And yeah, we'll kind of piece together the bullpen, I guess. Don't love going into the postseason with that, but we already kind of gave up a lot of prospect capital this season. So from a player development side, we are still 8th in prospect rankings. A lot of that held up by Luis Herrera. We do have 3 other guys in the top 100. Duncan Marston, Jacob Berry, and Luis Cova. And Luis Herrera is up in A-ball. He's kind of turned things around, I guess, but still hasn't been pretty. The rookie season ended, so I just called him up again and see how he does. He still has some season left to try to prove some stuff, but yeah, that's a long-term thing with him. So yeah, I think we'll keep going with this episode. It's the deadline, but we're going to keep moving forward. We'll be back with any other updates. All right, so we are back. It's September 1st. We are 80-70, 6 games back of the Braves. At one point, we were about 2 games back, maybe, but the wheels have slightly fallen off, and the Braves have played really well. Kind of to recap things, so we're still 15th in runs scored, but things have gotten better. It seems. Still first in most pitching categories. Defense, zone ratings up to 2nd. Remember, we were middle of the pack, bottom half even at one point. And I think adding Robert to the mix has really changed things. And offensively, definitely has. He got off to a kind of slow start for us. It wasn't crazy bad, but he just wasn't hitting home runs. He's went on a nice little tear here. Pretty much matching his numbers that he was putting up in Chicago before. Playing an excellent center field. He's pretty much all we could have asked for. Seiya Suzuki's also picked things up after a tough start. He's had a nice couple weeks here. Just mostly DHing for us, so his WAR is not going to be crazy or anything. But, yeah, Luis Ariz, we're probably done with him after this year. He's so bad at second base. He's single-handedly, our zone rating's plus 19.5. You take him off this team, and this is, one of the best defensive teams of all time. But he's just so bad at second base. It's tough. I guess I could put him at first, but who are we putting at second? I don't know. Could move Jazz back to second, but I'm not doing that. He's been really good, by the way, in right field. He's definitely recovered after a tough start. Overall, having a really good season. I'm not going to bash Jazz at all. He's been spectacular. In regards to being our most consistent hitter at the top of the lineup. He's on pace to basically match his numbers last year with the home runs and RBIs and everything. Stealing a few more bags, batting for a way better batting average, and getting on base at a better clip. So he's been awesome. Love me some Jazz. I don't know if we're going to be able to keep him around long term, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there after next season. Jesus Sanchez, the numbers don't look that impressive, but it feels like he just has a couple really bad games and he just blows up for a really great one. 2 hits here, 4 RBIs, had a couple multi-hit games, a 2 home run game here. And it just feels like he's always getting involved in the games that we win. So I would like to see his splits in wins and losses. Obviously, most hitters are going to be better in wins and worse in losses. It's just how it goes. I guess that's not interesting. That's not a split here. Let me see. Now I'm kind of curious. I guess we can't see his stats and wins and losses. Maybe there's a way to do that, but I'm not going to poke around too long with that. Casey Schmidt's definitely fallen off since a great first half, I would even call it. Not really underselling how good he was. He was on pace for like 4 WAR at one point. He's definitely fallen off since, but still been a league average player with 2.5 WAR on pace for. Played a great third base. League average hitter. Take that all day out of my 7th hitter on most nights. And then Alfonso's been great as our backup catcher. No complaints from him. Jacob Amaya's come up and played really valiantly in the backup infielder role. Wes Clark just got the call back as rosters have expanded. We'll see where he mixes in. I guess we could just jump into Jacob Berry. He's definitely fallen off since a impressive end to the pre-deadline period where I kind of decided to, put all my eggs in his basket at first base. He's really fallen off since. Had a good game here. But the stats before that were looking even more ugly. So 3 double game, I'll take that. But yeah, I think Wes Clark's going to start mixing in a little bit at first base. I haven't set my lineups or anything yet. Brent Doyle's been awesome as a backup outfielder. He's splitting time with Dane Myers in left field as we try to figure out that portion of our team. Patrick Bailey, the bat's fallen off since a good start, but I'll take a 86 WRC plus, 2.5 WAR. I'm not going to single-handedly give him all the credit for our pitching staff just like going crazy this season, but I think he plays a huge part in it. I think our defense overall improving has also played a big part in it, but I think Patrick Bailey has been a massive piece and a huge get. Will Banfield, by the way, has not made an appearance in the majors for San Fran. And Thomas White, who is a pretty well-regarded prospect. I don't know if he's probably around top 100 when we dealt him. He's now number 79, pitching in rookie ball for them. So we'll see how that trade plays out in the long run, but I think we got a good one there as our catcher. Dane Myers has struggled a little bit, but I still like him. I don't know why, but I do. So I'm going to continue to give him some at-bats until, someone kind of takes that role from him because our left field spot's been really, really bad this year. Sorry. Where the heck is he playing? Oh, yeah, our left field platoon with Jesus Sanchez. Then Ortega, 69 WRC plus does not look pretty. On pace for about 2 WAR. He's been about a league average player. I wish he did a little bit more at the bat, but the glove's been excellent. So yeah, I can't be too upset. And then Jason Hayward just came back from the IL. He'll mix in when we need him. Back up the corners, maybe a little bit of center field. We'll see what happens. The pitching staff has pretty much held course. Jesus Luzardo has kind of led the way. He's had an excellent season. He's fallen off a bit here. A couple bad starts in his last few, but I hope he can, get hot going into the playoffs here for us. Our second best pitcher has probably been Trevor Rogers still. The Ks are not there from last year, but the stats have been, just way better. On pace to pitch in 194 innings after throwing 116 last year. He's been really good. Our third best pitcher has probably been Yuri, but it's close between him and Braxton Garrett. But yeah, Yuri's been awesome too. Like, no complaints. Again, like, this has just been kind of picture perfect. Braxton Garrett's also been excellent. Those guys pretty much having like equal seasons. Yuri's thrown a few more innings. I just don't really let Garrett go deep into games. And he's been good. Maybe I'll throw him up to 95 pitches here. But then Sandy, he's had a good little run here to kind of bring his season stats down. And the FIP does look good, much better than the ERA. But yeah, it's been a disappointing year for Sandy. I was kind of expecting a little bit more. Still on pace to throw almost 200 innings. That's even with me kind of limiting his pitch counts here. And the bullpen, you could see, I kind of just have everyone in middle relief. I'm just going to let my manager pick what guys he wants to use in whatever spot. Yeah, we don't really have like a lockdown guy. I think all of these guys are pretty capable. Tobias Myers is up currently. He probably won't stick unless he pitches really well. Julian Mayweather's been good. Merriweather has been good besides this one game. So that's been a good pickup so far. Mercedes had a rough game here, but overall in 5.2, you take away that game, he's been good. Andrew Nardi's been awesome. Max Mayer's been much better here in the second half. Yeah, check out his July and August stats, much better. Joe Boyle's up with the team right now. Anthony Bender's pitched pretty well. Anthony Maldonado's been good. These guys are kind of, I always mix these guys up. And then De Los Santos has had a really nice season. So we're going to let our manager kind of figure out our bullpen. I don't really have a preference on who pitches where. Kind of whatever he's feeling in the game. That's good with me. So, yeah, we're 6 games back in the division, right in this wild card hunt. You know, it's pretty much 6 teams for 3 spots. I don't know if we're going to catch the Braves. I guess we could. We're 6 back, so it's not undoable with like 30 games left, but 22 games left? 12 games left? How many games are left in the season? Does the season end that early? I'm counting 12 games left. Is that correct? Oh my god. Okay. I gotta fix the freaking start day of the season because holy crap. I mean, yeah, I know we started really early due to like the Tokyo series screwing things up, or the Korea series. Sorry, that was this year. I'm gonna fix that for next year. We're just gonna do that right now before I forget. Don't know off the top of my head where this is though. Okay, it's going to be under league settings, I assume. Here we go. Season start day, I assume, will be in here. I also want to change when the rookie leagues start because my rookies don't even play their first year. Okay, I'll do this off camera because I'm not going to be able to find this. But we'll be back in about a week, update where we are. We'll go week by week here to finish out the year. All right, so we have 8 games left in the year. So we're going to go through game by game. The Braves did clinch the division. So it'll be a wild card spot. We are in a 4-way tie for all of the wild cards. So it's going to be a race between us. Even the Phillies are still in it, technically. Diamondbacks, you can call them in it. So yeah, it's still 6 teams for 3 spots. We hold one of them at the moment. So, yeah, really nice week for Luis Robert. He's been excellent since we got him. Can't overstate how good he's been. But yeah, we have a game here against Milwaukee. Brandon Woodruff against Sandy Alcantara, looking to finish out the season strong. And we lose 1-0. That's tough. We get 3 hit. Alcantara was awesome. Nardi gave an unearned run. Looks like that was in the bottom of the 9th. A walk to Tommy Edman. So Trevor Rogers looking to take 2 out of 3 here against Milwaukee. Still in a 3-way tie. I think this is probably a 4-way tie. The other team that was there is missing. And we lose 7-1. So tough game there. Mercedes gives up 3 unearned. Rogers, not a great start. Rise has 3 hits, but nothing going. It's a singles merchant if I've ever seen one. So we have an off day, and we play San Diego. So this can kind of decide our season. We kind of control our destiny with this series. 3-game set. We'll have Musgrove. Let's see. Musgrove, Cease, and Waldron. Cease has walked a ton of guys. And we have Garrett, Perez, Luzardo. So let's do it. Game 1. We win 2-1 in Miami. Give him 9 hits, only 1 run though. Seiya Suzuki drove in a pair. He hasn't been amazing, but he's been good enough. Roberts a couple hits. Bryson Garrett a really quality start. Joe Boyle goes 2 1/3. And Maldonado picks up the save. So game 2, still tied with the Padres. So this team, the winner of this, will take the lead. Oh, I know what happened. The Brewer... No. What team was tied? Okay, so it was San Diego and LA that were tied for the division. Okay, so we're looking good for a wild card. We have, let's see, 5 games left. We are up 3 on Arizona and Philly. So we could really use this one. Game 2. Win 5-2, a huge game. Patrick Bailey drives in 3 runs on a home run. Let's see. Perez, a really good start. Needed that out of him. Mayer and Nardi close it out. So looking for the sweep on San Diego to position ourselves. This might clinch. I think this would clinch a win or clinch a wild card spot with a win. Luzardo, our best pitcher on the mound against Zach Gallen, now of the San Diego Padres. We lose 7-1. Not a good start from Luzardo. Merriweather gives up a few as well, but nothing going offensively. So that was always going to be a tough game to win. So we're still tied with San Diego. Have not clinched yet. Philly has fallen out of it. Arizona still hanging on. We have a 3-game set against the Mets. Christian Scott, Steven Matz, and Thomas Sapuki. Looking to clinch the playoffs. Sandy Alcantara, it'd be cool if he could do it. After a tough season, and we win 11-4, clinch our first playoff appearance of the series. We're actually playing a man down right now. Oops. Who do we have on our 40? Sure, we'll call up Elliot Ramos, I guess, just onto the roster. Why not? Okay, never mind. He's getting sent back down. Sixto will come back. And, okay. So we clinch. Trevor Rogers. Okay, this is where I kind of have to plan for the playoffs. So we're tied with San Diego, 1 game back at the Cubs. If we win out, we could potentially get the first wild card, which would pit us against the worst division team, which might actually be the Dodgers. Yeah, it would be the Dodgers. So this team does not look that good, though. I don't know. 3rd run scored, 4th runs against. Okay, so maybe we actually don't want to get the first wild card. I'd rather play San Diego, who we're currently playing and just played, and are a good team. 10th run scored, 3rd runs against. I'd rather play them than have to play LA. So I'm kind of going to punt these games, I think. I'm not going to totally punt them, but I think I'm going to give Sixto Sanchez a start here. Make sure Rogers doesn't pitch. And then I'm also going to not pitch Garrett when his turn comes. And we will get one more arm up here. Make a start. Who do we want to send down? Mercedes wasn't really that good. I was expecting a bit more. I don't know if he'll make the playoff roster. Okay, so we need a fresh arm down here, up here. Colton Gordon will be good to go. We could start him in the last game of the season. Perfect. So Sixto will get the ball. And let's see what he can do as a starter here. Okay, pretty good start. Looks like he went 6 1/3, 91 pitches. Nardi pitches well, and Maldonado picks up the save. Only got 3 runs. Chisholm looks like he accounted for 2 of them. Robert got the other one on a solo shot. And Colton Gordon to make his first appearance on the team this year, starting the last game of the year. And we lose 4-3. And we will face the Padres. Confirmed at this point. Jacob Berry, 3 hits to end his season. A bit of a disappointing rookie year, but overall, good way to end the year. And Colton Gordon wasn't bad. Joe Boyle pitches really well. And Max Mayer looks like he picked up the loss. So that's how the season will end. We have the playoffs starting tomorrow. And we'll hop into that next episode. We finished 87 and 75. 15th in runs scored, first in runs against. You see the dichotomy of sides of the ball. But I think our offense really turned things around in the second half. Seiya Suzuki drove in 111 runs. As a league average hitter for us, overall was probably a bit above league average, probably a 110 WRC plus, 115. Robert had a really good season for us. And Jazz led the way as our leadoff hitter. And that's the end of the season. We'll be back next time with the playoffs. So we'll see you then. Thank you for watching. Bye.